Hello, my friends. Jacob is here again. What? This is like, 2 days in a row? I know. I usually post once a week. You know, I've gotten so many requests to do more videos that I'm trying to sneak them in as quickly as I can. I promise I'm gonna work on trying to at least do 2 a week. I'm committing to try to give you more. Long story short, I had to do today's show because last night, I start researching right after I put my first video up. I start researching, and last night I came across a couple of really cool stories. More floating cities in China. Cool, right? Not just that, but these fairy circles, right? In Africa, they were popping up everywhere. And tourists, it's a big tourist attraction. Well, guess what? They found out what causes it. We're going to get into that today. We're going to get into climate change today. We're going to get into a lot today. It's going to be a quicker show. It's going to be an awesome show. And I'm doing it very quick because I don't have a lot of time. So buckle up, people, because we're talking floating cities, ethereal and literal, and fairy circles and more. All right, before we get into the floating cities, which is really cool. Okay, so there are these fairy circles, right? So you have all of this arid landscape, and all of a sudden there are these big circles, and they don't understand, why are there these circles with no vegetation in the middle? Now, we're not talking crop circles, people. We're talking, they call them fairy circles, or footprints of the gods. Well, for a long, long time, people had no idea what was causing them. But now they do know. Okay, so these fairy circles, they're circular patches, right? Without any vegetation. According to a recent scientific study, they're caused by get ready for it, the harvester termite. The harvester termite, that's right. So basically these termite, they have these big nests right in the center of these fairy circles. And every single fairy circle has one. And the termites, what they do is they basically build these amazing, miraculous underground cities in a big circular pattern. And it makes it impossible for any kind of vegetation to grow there, which is why it's nice and barren. So one more mystery solved. A lot of times when we don't have the answers, there's always an answer, and all you got to do is seek and look a little bit deeper and you'll find it. That's all we got to do. Problem today is most people don't seek anymore. Most people don't knock on that door of possibility to see what's behind it. I think we all need to do that. Let's move on to floating cities in China. All right, so the apparition was allegedly seen by thousands of people in a province called Yungyang and Yuyang, I think it is. I'm not Chinese. I'm doing the best I can. It's a city with a population of about 1 million, so everybody saw this. Now, it was all the rage on social media a couple of years ago, and it was really spooky. I mean, you see these. I mean, it was like a literal city, right up in the clouds. A lot of people said it was, could be evidence of a parallel universe. Other people said that it could be Project Bluebeam, where they're shooting it up and they're just practicing. But over the years, we've seen floating cities, and we've seen what you think is people staring down at you. And it makes absolutely no sense. They try to explain it away. They try to say that it's just kind of like a mirage up there in the clouds. There's a name for it, but it turns out this one, they're saying that it can't be this mirage. So what is it? That's one that hasn't been discovered yet. They don't really know. The emergence of the phenomenon has prompted several theories, okay? Like I said before, including that it was visible because a portal to another dimension had been opened. It's possible, right? We know that CERN And other places are doing some really kooky, crazy stuff. And that could be one of the reasons. Other theories include the secret government hologram experiment called Project Bluebeam. Yes, that's right. The floating city, again, is making major headlines on social media. I think it's really cool. I saw it last night. I was too tired to come down here and talk to you, so I figured I'd do it first thing this morning. I know a lot of people are going to cover it. I don't know what it is, but I do know that it is really interesting. There are so many mysteries, right? But just like those fairy circles, all we have to do is seek. There's always an explanation. There's always one. So we shouldn't let fear be the explanation. We shouldn't be scared that the world is coming to an end just because we see a city in the sky. If anything, we should be excited because it's super cool, right? Speaking of floating cities in the sky, let's talk about literal floating cities. That's right. Okay, so basically, they just approved billions of dollars are going to be poured into a legitimate floating city. Here's some pictures of it. And the reason is because of the ocean levels rising and global warming. Okay? If the ocean levels continue to rise at the current rate, the French Polynesia could lose up to 2/3 of its land to the sea. Now, that's happening everywhere, people. I know a lot of people don't want to believe in global warming, but it is a fact. I mean, sea levels are rising. And that's why we're seeing so much crazy climate change everywhere. Whether it's super cold in one area one day and then it's hot the next. Whether some areas, they're not getting rain at all. There's some stuff going on. Whether it's anthropogenic, which means that we're causing it by cutting down all the trees to make room for more cattle, because it takes I think it's 66 something gallons of water to produce one hamburger. Whether it is, there is a celestial system coming towards us, which is affecting everything, which explains why other planets too are seeing climate change. It's up for debate, but just like these fairy circles, all you gotta do is seek and you find, right? Okay, so this week, the French Polynesian government signed an agreement with the San Francisco design firm to develop the world's first floating city in the South Pacific, with construction to start in 2019, right around the corner. Let's just say this thing looks incredible, okay? Take a look at it again. The firm tasked with erecting this futuristic habitat, the Seasteading Institute, has been developing concepts for floating cities for the past 5 years, and now has finally gotten the go-ahead. And the reason is, once again, because there's going to be a lot of land that's going to be underwater soon if things continue the way they are. We know that global warming is a big deal. We know that there is climate change, and it is real. A lot of people don't want to agree with that, but it is scientifically proven. Whether you want to believe the studies or not, it doesn't matter. Just go outside. Here in Long Island, it's January. It's like 60 degrees again. It's crazy, right? And it's happening everywhere. This is why also we have to worry about the Antarctic shelf and the Arctic shelf. Just recently, a huge 80-mile crack of this Antarctic shelf. It's about to splice off and go right into the water, and that's not a good thing. We have lost so much. There are pictures that have been posted of how much of the ice has been melted away. It's cause for concern. So we need to do something about it. And I don't really know what that is. I think that the governments of the world have been putting it off for a long time because they only care about making that almighty dollar, right? So all of these governments that are ruled by these banks and these, this mega industries that doesn't really care about you and me because they've got their shelters, they're continuing to destroy the environment so that they can make an extra buck or two. But there are better ways of doing this, people, and that's what we need to look into. Long story short, I just wanted to come with you with a short little video today. I wanted to tell you all about the floating cities and the fairy circles, and I wanted to just reach out to you and give you all a big super duper hug, and I hope you all have the best week ever. And remember, if you're looking at something and it's not about what you see, it's about what you believe. Okay? So if you're looking at a certain situation in your life and you think that, oh no, it's the end for me, guess what? That's what your experience is going to be. But if you see things in your life that make it difficult for you to move forward, remember that you can change your perspective of it. You can look at these hard times as situations that will improve the quality of your life. Don't forget, if it wasn't for the suffering of the oyster, there wouldn't be a pearl. If it wasn't for the smashing of the grape, there wouldn't be no sweet, sweet wine. If it wasn't for the manure hopped on top of the dirt, the flowers wouldn't be as great as they are. Our hard times are paving the way for something beautiful, people. See that. See the flowers. Don't look at the manure, okay? I'll talk to you soon. Next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever it is, I'll be coming at you again. Please do subscribe if you haven't. If you watch these videos and you haven't hit that button yet, please do, because it keeps us connected and out of sight, out of mind, right? And I don't want you to be out of my sight or out of my mind, because I love you all. And I will talk to you soon.